Logan Paul's latest controversy just got even crazier, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, it is all surrounding the Crypto Zoo and Coffeezilla situation, where basically Logan Paul created a crypto game where he promised a fun game that would make people money. Well, that game never came to be, as we can see here. So Crypto Zoo, the game, was a failed blockchain game co-founded by the YouTuber Logan Paul. It was launched in 2021 and it promised to blend a cryptocurrency and non-fungible tokens within the game. The game was marketed as an autonomous ecosystem where users could buy, sell and trade exotic animals and hybrids using non-fungible tokens. These eggs were purchased via the collector's buyer accompanying the in-game currency, Zoo dollars, or via Ethereum, which I believe is a cryptocurrency as well. The eggs would then be hatched into random animals that could go on to breeding, and new cartoon eggs would hatch and the cartoon hybrids of themselves. The animals could be birds to recover zoo dollars for the players, making them in real life money. Now, obviously, you know, Logan Paul promised this game. Many people came forward that support Logan Paul to support the game. Some people even going as far as investing their own money, but not just, you know, a few dollars here, a few dollars there. Some people even reportedly put in up to $500,000 Australian dollars, which is absolutely batshit crazy. Now, off the back of this, and of course off the back of the failed attempt to create this game, YouTuber Coffeezilla created a playlist of investigating Crypto Zoo. Investigating Logan Paul's biggest scam was the first video to drop, then biggest fraud in Logan Paul's scam, and then ending Logan Paul's biggest scam. So that was a 3-part series in the beginning. It was safe to say that Logan Paul was not particularly happy with being called out by Coffeezilla, because he put out a very, very angry and responsive response, which he has since taken down. But of course, as the internet does, they managed to keep hold of the original video. We're going to play just a small part of it because this is just kind of an ADHD version getting you caught up to speed.
Coffeezilla. I watched your 3-part series called Investigating Logan Paul's Biggest Scam, and like many on this platform, you have successfully used my name for views and money. While your work used to be impartial, your addiction to clicks has clouded your judgment and you've made very real errors with very real repercussions. Coffee, you took a shot at my reputation. So in this video today, I'm going to be defending myself with facts, something that you have gotten in the habit of twisting as you continue to morph from an investigator to a gossip channel. You see, Coffeezilla tried to work with law enforcement in the past, but his work was described as not anchored to truth and often speculative. He is a lopsided journalist with an agenda, and he's nothing more than the Keemstar of crypto and finance.
Right, so that's all I'm going to play for you, because obviously, you know, I'm sure you've already seen this, and it is, you know, very well-trodden ground. Logan Paul wasn't happy, took shots at Coffeezilla. Did Coffeezilla stop? Did he bow down? No. In fact, he just stayed silent. He didn't actually say anything about the situation. And instead, he let the community do all that for him. And the community responded in a less than impressed way, which then sparked Logan Paul to take down this very angry response and instead put up a 2-minute 14-second video where he actually apologized to Coffeezilla for his rash response and actually thanked him for the effort that he'd put into his investigation. Here's that.
Coffeezilla is not a criminal. I called him, I apologized. My initial response to his series was that of fire, an ego flare, whatever it is, pride. I'm a fighter at heart, and I was defensive because I know I never scammed anyone with this project. I never made any money, never sold any tokens, and I only had the best intentions going in. But the fact is that suing Coffeezilla is not going to help Crypto Zoo holders, so I do need to focus my attention where it should be, which is on fans and supporters of me. You guys mean the world to me, so I'd like to announce my 3-step plan moving forward. Step 1, Jeff and I are going to burn our Zoo tokens so we have no financial upside in the game and it will add value to holder tokens. Step 2, we want to offer a rewards program for players who are disappointed in the status of the game. So essentially you're going to be able to burn your base egg or your base animal for the mint price, which was 0.1 ETH or the equivalent in BNB. I am personally committing 1,000 ETH to this, which is about $1.3 million right now for players who want to get out. And then step 3, Obviously, finish and deliver the game as outlined in the white paper by completing the egg bridge from ETH to BSC for base animals and base eggs, completing the marketplace, and obviously completing the releasing your animals into the wild to accrue your yield function.
So there you go. There was his 3-step plan. Obviously, that's not the whole video, but that was his 3-step plan. Thanking Coffeezilla, stating that he would have no financial gain within the game by burning his eggs or base animals or whatever it was, and then pledging $1.3 million to the victims of CryptoZoo, who basically to try and get their money back. Well, obviously this video didn't go down too well, because as we can see here, it had 7.9 thousand likes to 26,000 dislikes, so people weren't particularly happy. But this entire situation doesn't end there, because, well, what happened with that? Nothing. So what happened was Coffeezilla decided to hold Logan Paul accountable, even though he just apologized. He made a video about how Logan Paul apologized. Logan Paul's scam isn't over. Logan Paul's refund falling for this scam is sad. So basically, Coffeezilla outlines a lot of content here talking about the situation and trying to hold Coffeezilla accountable. Trying to hold Logan Paul accountable for refunding the victims of this. And this has gone into a class action lawsuit since the time, but people haven't had their money back yet. Even though Logan Paul stated that he was investing $1.3 million of his own money into paying those victims back, they have not seen a penny. So, yeah, it all goes real quiet on that front for a while. Until a couple of weeks ago when Logan Paul decided to completely 180 his apology, and he decided that he is going to be suing YouTuber Coffeezilla for libel over CryptoZoo game allegations. Basically, he is suing for defamation. And he is suing in the state of Texas, I believe, because there are no anti-slap laws, which, if you don't know what an anti-slap is, basically it stops, it's something, if Logan Paul, right, or was to go in and, sue Coffeezilla for defamation just to shut him up, to stop him from talking about the situation, an anti-slap law would be a response that Coffeezilla can give in court, to get the case thrown out, because it would basically be like, look at this. This is just him trying to get me to shut up about one of his scandals. I'm his biggest critic. If he silences me, the whole thing goes away to a degree, or the biggest, critique goes away. And I don't think that that's right. I'm trying to hold him accountable. Here's the anti-slap, and then it means that the case would technically just kind of be thrown out if the judge approves. But in Texas, there is no such thing as an anti-slap, which basically means that Logan Paul can sue the living daylights out of Coffeezilla for defamation, and there's not a thing he can do about it. But I have found a lawyer online who has a YouTube channel, and she is called Emily D. Baker, all right? And she is talking about the Logan Paul suing Coffeezilla situation. Now, this is going to be a reaction kind of part of the video. The first part was me kind of getting you up to speed, and this is a legal person's point of view, because, of course, I am not in the realms of law whatsoever, so I can't really give a professional opinion, but I can present the evidence from someone who can. So I highly recommend you go and check out Emily D. Baker's channel. There will be a link down in the description. Let's get into it.
Logan Paul has been involved in several crypto projects and NFT projects, including like Dink Doink and...
Yeah, I believe Dink Doink was a pump and dump. So anyone that doesn't know what pump and dump is, it's basically like influential people influential people buy loads of, let's say, crypto coins, right? I don't know what the technical term is. I'm not really into crypto. But then you buy loads of it at a cheap rate. And then you promote it to your audience. And then they go off your recommendation and buy loads of these coins as well, which increases the value of that coin. And then once all of those people have bought it, your stocks that you bought before it was popular have now risen. Which means that you might have bought them at, I don't know, for argument's sakes, let's say $1 per token. All right. Now they're worth $100 per token, and if you've bought 1,000 at $1,000, they're now worth what, $100,000? No, $1,000. I don't know. Whatever the maths is. Basically, it's worth 100-fold, and then boom, you can sell it on, and then you'd make a lot of profit. But then what happens is it completely depreciates the value for the people that you've told to go and buy. So you've basically you've stolen money, but in a clean way, if that makes sense. Because technically, although pump and dumps are like very, very frowned upon, I don't believe they're illegal. So, you know, the whole situation's morally, it's very wrong.
Now, CryptoZoo, there are ongoing CryptoZoo lawsuits. We will talk about CryptoZoo in the context of this lawsuit because Coffeezilla, who is a content creator on YouTube who does really thorough deep dive reports mostly in the crypto space, also got into SBF, really looks into the blockchain, digs into where money is moving around on the blockchain, and is incredibly knowledgeable in that area. He did a 3-part series on Logan Paul's CryptoZoo. Yep. Logan Paul made a video skewering or attempting to Coffeezilla, telling him to lawyer up because he's going to get sued. Then made another video saying, I'm sorry to Coffeezilla, you were right about everything, and this is how I'm making it right. And it's interesting to me after we went from Logan Paul telling Coffeezilla he's going to sue him to Logan Paul saying that he apologizes to Coffeezilla and that Coffeezilla was right, seeing him swing from get a lawyer to you're right, I was wrong, I should have done better, and I'm going to fix it, to now turning back around and choosing to sue Coffeezilla over his coverage of CryptoZoo.
Well, I think the issue lies because basically Coffeezilla is not letting up. I think that Logan Paul probably thought that if he apologized to Coffeezilla and stated that he would do this, Coffeezilla would just move on from the situation. Instead, Coffeezilla has clung onto the situation, rightfully so, and is saying, well, that's great, and I'm glad that you're doing that. But let's make sure that that does happen. And what he's doing now on his YouTube channel is he's making sure that Logan Paul follows up. As we've seen, if you've seen the Coffeezilla videos, you know, he has messaged Logan Paul multiple times, months apart, just like, you know, just reminding you, you still owe these victims money. Just reminding you promised to pay them back. Just reminding you, know, keeping on his case about the situation.
Which, again, CryptoZoo is in lawsuits. One of the attorneys on the CryptoZoo lawsuits is attorney Tom, who's also a content creator on this platform and created a video breaking down the CryptoZoo lawsuits.
Now, I believe attorney Tom is representing the people on the class action lawsuit. I believe. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong, but from what I've heard, I think that is the case.
Talked a bit about the CryptoZoo lawsuits that attorney Tom brought against Logan Paul and his companies. So how many lawsuits are there around CryptoZoo? Well, more now. Starting when he released the 3-part series on CryptoZoo in December 2022, continuing to present, Coffeezilla has perpetuated the false narrative that Paul scammed and defrauded his own fans in connection with a project. Coffeezilla, they say, have perpetuated this false narrative despite knowing it to be completely and utterly false in order to enhance his own profile and increase his viewership and income in the process. And has done so despite being in possession of and purposefully omitting from his series and related statements overwhelming objective evidence that Paul had in reality been enthusiastic about the project and deeply committed to its success, only to be deceived by several of the project's trusted advisors who turned out to be con men. The first 2 paragraphs of your defamation suit says that you are suing because Coffeezilla said that CryptoZoo was a scam. And in paragraph 2, you say that you were scammed?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I'm going to move my head out of the way because otherwise I'm just completely blocking out the legal person who is actually very important to this point. Let me put me up here. Right. Let's carry on because this is just fantastic.
Am I reading that correctly?
Yes, you are.
That in paragraph 2, you were conned. You didn't scam anyone. You were scammed?
Yep.
You hired them and put your name on the project and sold it to your audience, though. So, I mean, do you have an indemnity agreement? Why don't you just sue them? The self-congratulatory extensive self-congratulatory ridiculousness in this lawsuit is a bit much when he's turning around and suing Coffeezilla. By applying the charisma and tireless work ethic, do you think he had a call with his lawyer and was like, hey, look, sure, we can sue, but you have to tell everyone I'm charismatic more than once and let them know I know Kevin Hart, and then we're in. How did this conversation go? By applying the charisma and tireless work ethic that made him successful in the first place, but with greater humility and self-reflection, as reflected by this lawsuit. Show me, is the greater humility here in the lawsuit? If it says skibbity toilet anywhere in here, I'm going to die, but we have gotten to Riz, Ohio, and Unserious, and Kevin Hart. But with greater humility.
It's so weird. Like, this entire thing is so weird, and I'm so glad that I'm getting the perspective of someone who understands this, because I could read through this and be like, this is really weird, but maybe this is normal. But she's like, no, this is really weird, and it is weird.
Humility and self-reflection, Paul was able to salvage and rebuild his career and reputation, although extremely painful at the time. The Japan episode, they say, taught Paul a valuable lesson about the importance of one's reputation.
Okay, I think to say that he rebuilt his reputation is a strong thing to claim, because many people just that was the end of Logan Paul for them in that vlogging era where he would just run around with this incredibly bulky camera and just barge through people. It was just, senseless.
Big reputation. Big reputation. How quickly it can be destroyed and how hard it can be to repair it. Oh, this is why you're suing? No? What in the Ohio Rizzler skippity toilet is this lawsuit with Logan Paul?
To me, it just comes across as Logan Paul has a bruised ego and he needs to basically do anything that he can to puff out his chest and say, I'm the big man here, Coffeezilla, get back in your box, because for too long, Coffeezilla's been running his mouth. And, rightfully so, Coffeezilla's been running his mouth. He's holding you accountable.
Well, it is a self-congratulatory 49 pages of why Logan Paul didn't take advantage of and or scam anyone. But the real question is the new lawsuit an embarrassment? He is clearly incredibly mad at Coffeezilla. Logan Paul continues to say in the lawsuit not only that he is charismatic and hardworking, but that he is from Ohio. Well, he only said that once. That Coffeezilla has damaged his reputation by saying that he scammed his fans. And then he proceeds in his lawsuit to line out the fact that two of the people he hired to work on the CryptoZoo project are in fact charlatans and con men and took almost $8 million out of this crypto project, but that he didn't intend for that and he didn't make any money. Well, that's not really the point here.
No.
And in Coffeezilla's series, he highlighted, as I remember numerous times, that Logan Paul didn't make money off the project, but people he hired did. So Logan Paul is suing because Coffeezilla called CryptoZoo a scam and saying it's Logan's biggest scam. At the heart of the lawsuit,
the thing is it is Logan's biggest scam, because his name, he wanted his name attached to that thing as much as possible when it was first coming out. He was the one pushing it, like Prime. He wants his name attached to Prime because it's so huge. But now that there's controversy, he doesn't want anything to do with it. No, that's not how this works. If you're gonna, die on that hill to begin with, you've got to die on it now.
Is a PR push for Logan Paul to tell his side about how everyone took advantage of him, and he didn't mean to do this to his audience. But the legal part of the lawsuit in the last 3 pages makes clear that what is being sued over is one tweet that says, Logan Paul really is the type of dude to thank you when you expose his scam, then block you when you remind him to pay up.
Yep.
The lawyers did say this post was a gross and intentional distortion of Paul's prior statements in which he referenced Coffeezilla's research in a positive way. What they are referencing there is Logan Paul's video titled, "Thank You, Coffeezilla," in which he says, "Thank you, Coffeezilla, for your work." But okay.
Thank you, Coffeezilla. You have catalyzed this, and I am very grateful for your work and your investigation. And I mean that. Thank you, bro.
The next part of this lawsuit is suing over the title of 2 YouTube videos and the contents of those YouTube videos from 2023 and 2024, respectively. Logan Paul's refund. They are saying that in that video, Logan Paul was libeled by Coffeezilla, saying that CryptoZoo was a massive con and that Paul is a serial scammer. They do refer to scam as the S word in this lawsuit.
It's like he who shall not be named, the word that shall not be named. That's so pathetic.
You can't be more unserious than that. Oh, the word unserious is in there too. Mhm. And the second video being sued for is a video from June 2023 titled "Logan Paul's Scam Isn't Over." Again, suing over the use of the word scam. Words like scam generally do not import, or courts don't find them to import, criminal meaning. Logan Paul is suing for libel per se of a public figure, saying that essentially what is being said by Coffeezilla is accusing him of a crime, and in some parts of this lawsuit damages his reputation in his work. So that is where we're at the beginning of what is going to be a hard-fought federal lawsuit in Texas. Logan Paul, again, stating in this lawsuit he is a resident of Puerto Rico and suing where Coffeezilla's business is. The fact that this is 40 pages of puffery is wild. It is Logan Paul's self-congratulatory building up of why he had all the good intentions in the world. But that doesn't mean that when people bought CryptoZoo, they got what they paid for, which is going to come down to the heart of the fight here.
Yep.
Was CryptoZoo operating as it should? And when Logan Paul sold it to his audience as his project that he conceived of, did he sell them what they ended up receiving?
No. And they still have not received any financial regain off the back of that. So there you go. There is the latest on the entire CryptoZoo scandal, let's say. I'm not going to call it the S word. I'm going to refer to any type of scam now as the S word because that's just fantastic. What do you guys think on this, though? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Like I said, Emily D. Baker, get down in the description where there is a link to their channel because she makes fantastic content. Subscribe if you're new to this channel and tickle my little bell to get notified whenever we upload to the channel. And until next time, guys, I hope you have enjoyed. Can't wait to see you in the next one, and I'll speak to you later. Peace.